for the 6-6 mediocre season. That's what's the problem. Well, that's what's been the problem with the Philadelphia Eagles.
And that's conventional thinking. That is the way that most people will look at this and title this season's thus far. You look at this team, and it could be simple. It could be lazy at times to just say, Super Bowl hangover, therefore you're a 6-6 ball club. But I want to disagree with that sentiment, and I want to dive deeper into why do you think it's their ego. As we define ego as your view of your own importance and esteem. So you're the Super Bowl champions. You should think pretty highly of yourself. So that's one. I'm looking at this team. They came back, and they weren't full of themselves. Other teams were fully motivated against them. Remember, this is the underdog team that won the Super Bowl. So now everyone has woke up to the fact that you are now the champs, and we are coming fully motivated, full throttle at your head. What happens? Oh, my quarterback is not the same quarterback that even led us to the Super Bowl, and he's coming off an injury. Everyone knows in football circles it takes 2 years to fully recover from an ACL. So he's going out there. Yeah, he's medically cleared, but in the same breath, not the same guy. What happens after that? You see this team not finding itself because they're trying to abbreviate their philosophy based on their quarterback and his health. And then now they got the running game in tow. Now they're getting healthy. You saw Darren Sproles back out there. But let's just stay focused on the ego part. The team that wins the championship the most are the New England Patriots. You want to talk about ego? Let's talk about a team that has an owner that wears Jordans with his tux. That's the ego. I love me some Bob Kraft, Columbia football, but that's an ego. A quarterback that lives a bigger lifestyle than LeBron James. You could call that an ego a little bit. Julian Edelman and all his little off-the-field issues, we're going to let that live. And then Gronkowski partying and going on cruises and boats in every nightclub, slam dancing. But we're going to sit there and say the Patriot way is egoless football. I beg to differ, and I don't think the Philadelphia Eagles were fooling themselves.
Patriots don't talk all that smack.
Oh, look at him. That's all you're going to say.
Hey, look, Marcellus is a little bit too nice. I just think this Eagles team is not very good. I didn't think they were that great last year. I think they had a miracle run, that everything was going right for them, even when their starting quarterback, who's having an MVP season, is hurt, and then you bring in Nick Foles, who I gave him no chance at winning. I thought the defense was still very good, but I just did not think Nick Foles would be able to operate this offense at a high level and get them to a Super Bowl championship. And so you just couple all those things in there, and I just don't think this team was really that good from the jump. I think they just had the perfect storm where everything was going their way, where the ball was bouncing their way. They were getting calls. Guys were playing amazing football. You think about their secondary, who we're saying is the weakness this year. They weren't very good last year either. And so it was just a perfect storm for them. I don't think it has anything to do with their egos at this point. I just think that they're not really that great a football team.
Yeah, I agree with you. Momentum is big. And when you get that confidence, it's lightning in a bottle and you can get on a roll. But I go back to the New England Patriots, and I agree with you. I think it is ego. I think it is something. Success is so hard to handle. And that is why the New England Patriots are the best in the business of all professional sports, because they don't get to that. Nothing wrong with ego. Yes, you talked all about the partying and Tom, and they do all that stuff. But still, when it comes down to it, football is at the top of the list. It's the most important thing. That's why Bill Belichick doesn't get caught up in drama. Thielen and him getting that argument in the game last week, and they start jawing about it. You know, they asked Belichick, what happened? He said, well, it's just two competitive guys going at it. That's it. Next question, right? That's all. Thielen talked 15 minutes on it because he don't have time. Belichick does not have time for drama. Football, it's all about winning, and that's it. And everything comes second. Family, business, book writing, everything else. And I think when you keep that at the top of the list, that's when you become consistent. And that's the hallmark of greatness.
That's unfair. That's unfair because the construction of this team that actually won the Super Bowl is not the same team you rolled out week one the next year. So in traditional terms, when you say Super Bowl hangover, you're really talking about a carryover of the same team. They had to insert their starting franchise quarterback who's at 60, 70%, and then say, go out there and duplicate what you did last year. Finish that momentum off despite having 9 months off and parades and really feeling all the love and attention. That's a different course than the traditional Super Bowl hangover.
Look, I've never seen what Jason Kelce did at that parade. We've never seen it. Lane Johnson, then to come out and start attacking the gold standard in the NFL, Bill Belichick. That's stuff me and you should do sitting on TV, not when we in the fire with these guys. And so we've never seen this kind of explosion of ego. And I like D'Angelo's point because I think it serves my point. They weren't that good, and they got full of themselves, and now they're getting spanked. And they're 6-6 and look mediocre and going to be in a dogfight with Dallas for this division.
New England Patriots, they go through that same stuff, though. They have injuries, guys get suspended, the steroids. They have the starting quarterback go down. Tom Brady gets hurt. They still win 11 games.
And no playoffs.
It's no playoffs, but they're still successful. I'm just saying, this is how much I love Bill Belichick. I love Bill Belichick. I can picture him. He doesn't. I was talking about to my wife this morning. We got in a little argument, and she wants to keep going. But you guys are married, right?
Yeah.
So you know, well, this is what you do. If you ever do get married, at least my wife, they want to keep going back and forth. I'm like, I thought we were done with this. Why do we got to keep talking it? Like, you win then. And I think Belichick's like that. He don't want to keep talking about the drama. He does not like drama. And if you got drama, he's going to get rid of you. And that's why I think they're so consistent. They deal with the same stuff that every other team in the NFL deals with.
That's my point. But that's to my point as well. They deal with the same things. They step in it like everyone else. So to blame the hangover effect on this team when we don't blame it on other teams, it's just a result-based conversation. And look, we don't know the results of this team this year. They can still win this division. There they go. I said that last year. I was not believing in the Eagles.
Zero chance they don't win the division.
If they beat Dallas this week.
And they will have the same record, but they still have zero chance to win the division.
Okay, you saying that, but that doesn't mean
because they have the Texans and the Rams.
I get
exactly.
it. Look, last year you're going to have to tell me we didn't work together, but I was not on the Eagles bandwagon. And every step of the way, I was eating crow. I'm not sure what this team's mentality is, but if they like being underdogs, they're back in that same position that galvanized them last year.
I just don't see how they win 3 out of the last 4 against the Cowboys, the Rams, the Texans, and the Eagles.
Did you see the Cowboys beating the Saints?
But hold up. The Cowboys have the Eagles, the Colts, the Bucks, Eagles, Colts, Bucks, and Giants.
You making that mistake we all make, which is look at the schedule, get a pen out and say, God,
does matter.
I've been in that locker room.
The Cowboys saw the Saints, and you know what the schedule said for them?
I know.
L. Guess what happened?
W.
It can happen, man.
Yes, it can happen. Anything can happen. That's why we play these games.
Yeah.
But if you had to bet your life on the Eagles making the playoffs right now, what would you do?
I'll say, let me wait till this game against the Cowboys, and then I'm going to bet my life after that.
Let's stay right there then.
That's telling.
Let's stay right there then.
Yeah.
Do you believe the Eagles are going to beat the Cowboys this weekend? Keep it real.
They have
that sounds like no to me.
It's a no with trepidation because they have played themselves into a competition argument where I'm like, anything can happen. Before last night, I would have said Cowboys are going to beat them. They're riding too much of a high. The defense is playing too well. Dak is starting to feel himself. Mari Cooper in that relationship. But then I saw the Cowboys beat the Saints in a game that no one saw come except Jason Whitlock.
And Bucky Brooks.
Yeah, y'all both making headlines. So then I saw that, and then I'm like,
you're both right.
What you were. Now I think the Eagles can do the same thing. Remember, when you're playing a divisional foe, one thing you have inherently is confidence. You're never out of a divisional game because you're familiar with your opponent.
At the end of the day, even if they win that game, yes, the Eagles could beat the Cowboys. Yes, absolutely.
Right.
Yes, they're 7-6 now. They both have the same records. So now at that point, they have to go to LA and face the Rams.
Right here.
And they go, and the Texans come to them. Can they win both of them?
Or one of them? The Rams one's going to be the most difficult. But, hey, the Rams are in they right now playing great, but not exactly.
Let me win this fight.
Not exactly unbeatable.
Let me win this fight.
They can beat the Texans.
Let me win this fight. There was a 33-year-old man last night that ran 90 yards straight downfield, and there wasn't one Eagles player that could even go get it. He was moving away from them. Not one Eagles player. 90 yards, a 33-year-old man. What do you think Zeke is going to do this week? And that man only had one run. The rest of them
he didn't even get 100 yards.
He only had 9 carries.
What do you think Zeke is going to do? They're going to shove Zeke down that defense. An old man just went 90 yards on him.
Man, y'all mailing in games before they played. I'm telling you, the Saints did the same thing. It can happen. This is an upside-down league. We said that about the Seattle Seahawks versus the Colts. Which one's going to go out? Remember we were talking about which offense is better. We were like, oh, look at the Colts. What did the Colts do this week? After you went on record saying how the Colts, they finally figured it out. Andrew Luck is amazing this year. What did they go out there and do?
Jacksonville has great defensive personnel, and they finally showed up one weekend.
And Philadelphia has Super Bowl champion
Jalen Ramsey
personnel.
balled out of control. Philly doesn't have that type of personnel. They got a bunch of fat and satisfied guys on both sides of the ball. Zeke's about to clown.